American Vandal.
Luke, are you joining us for this?
I'm going to join you for this because I've just been given the okay.
Right, okay. So the premise of American...
leave of absence to join you.
You've been given a special pass. American Vandal is it a mockumentary?
Yeah,
Yes.
8 parts, and it focuses on the investigation of the drawing of 27. How would you put it, Gary?
Peni.
Oh.
It's the plural for
I was going to say phallic symbols, but we'll go with that.
No, but the tagline is "Who did the dicks?" That's the tagline.
Who drew the dicks?
Yeah.
Who drew the dicks? The finger of blame is pointed squarely at Dylan Maxwell, who's being accused for a number of reasons. One, that there's a sort of a witness who saw him do it, or said he saw him do it. He's known for drawing penises. That's one of his things that he does. One of the teachers who's got a sort of vendetta against him says, you know, he targeted me first and then drew the rest of the penises.
What was different was that on her car he allegedly let the tyres down, where everyone else he just drove penises. And
there was a fourth reason that the sort of conflicted that he didn't have a solid alibi for where he was at the time. But he said he was with his friends, the Wayback Boys, who do like massive pranks and stuff like that. But there was a time when the vandalism could have occurred that was unaccounted for. Peter is the main sort of documentarian, and he's joined by his friend Sam. So they do like a sort of making the murder investigation, but it is sort of styled as like, for example, in one scene you see like a reconstruction of someone giving someone a hand job, for example, things like that, things that are absurd on the one hand, but work towards
Can you not use the phrase "on the one hand" when you talk about on the one hand?
and the narrative.
Yeah, professional.
Sort of documentary style on the other. I mean, I really like this. As we said last week, binge raced this and watched it all on Friday. Gary, you only got through one episode.
I only got through one. I liked it because of the way it was doing. It took me a while to realise that this was done a bit more tongue-in-cheek than I thought. Originally, I sort of thought, okay, fine, you know, this didn't really happen or whatever. But then as you're watching it, you're like, oh, they're taking this a bit seriously. And then you realise the whole thing is a Mickey take.
Yeah.
And I think
it took you a long time to get the fact that it's a Mickey take, or just a long time to get into the rhythms of it.
Yeah, I think into the rhythms of it. I think I haven't really watched this type of show since Making a Murderer, so I think, you know, I haven't seen one quite as good. So they are very good. You know, they've got the chalkboard and the, you know, the lines and everything. You know, they've got all the interviews with people. Okay, this is a lot deeper and a lot cleverer than I thought.
Yeah.
I probably will keep watching it because I know that there's going to be a developing storyline, you know, and it will get a second series, which is good. So, yeah, I liked it.
I had an opinion that you would struggle, Gary, just because when we've spoken about comedies of this ilk before, you've struggled
a little bit.
Find the comedy in them. Did you find this easier? Because you realised
maybe, yeah. I think because I knew what was going on, and I knew it was a mockumentary, but I didn't get the levels of humour until I got into it a bit. And I can see how sort of watching 2 or 3 in a row would probably be beneficial. You get a rhythm with this show, I would imagine.
It's very cleverly done. It's very funny. You know, on the surface, Matt's description made it sound quite crude. It's not.
No, I think it is. It is.
No, it's not. The best mockumentaries perhaps have crude characters as their lead, like David Brent say in The Office, but there's humanity in there to make you care about what's happening. And Netflix, obviously, there's been other real life documentaries we've like The Jinx and things, but Netflix had a major hit with Making a Murderer, and they've decided.
And there was another one, wasn't there? The Keep.
The Keep, yeah. The Keepers, which was the one about the nun that got murdered.
But I like that they've had the guts to spoof what is essentially their own show as well.
Yeah.
That takes some guts. So it's really well done. And I like the fact that it's 30, 40 minutes. It doesn't take up a lot of your time.
I think as well it's deeper than... I think what Luke's saying, you know, you say there's that sort of sympathy to it. There is some sort of deep stuff about like identity. In fact, the fact Peter's doing this documentary, they sort of turn the camera in on him in a sort of few episodes, and you know, is he trying to sort of get his status up by people now knowing who he is for doing this documentary? You know, you've got the laughs and you've got that, and you've got the really clever sort of plot points and the things to make him a murderer, but it is as well sort of almost like a high school comedy drama as well. I think you could say, Luke, it's got some sort of elements of Freaks and Geeks and something like that in it.
Yes.
I just really, really like this. I heard about this. I thought this sounds like my sort of thing, and I watched it all in a day, and I just
and then you decided to watch them all in the wrong order.
Yes,
you're fixating on that, Luke. Move on.